Commissioner meeting, Thursday, March 24th, 2022, 10 a.m. We'll start with the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Brady.
Present.
Commissioner Shaw.
Here.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Kirschner will have a prayer for us.
All right. Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance as we discuss items of importance to those folks who put us in office. We ask in a special way that you protect and defend as many of the folks in war-torn areas, especially Ukraine, as you can with your loving touch. We ask that you watch over those men and women who are fighting to protect our freedoms and their families. We ask all this through your Son. Amen.
Amen. Okay, I will accept the motion to approve the digital audio recorded minutes of our previous board session from Thursday, March 17th, a regular session, and for yesterday, March 23rd, work session.
So moved.
I will second, but we need to change that date
23rd.
on the agenda to the 23rd. Oh, did I? All right.
Yeah,
Very
you
good.
read it right. I said it right.
Okay, I'll second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes.
Commissioner Shaw.
Yes.
Commissioner Brady.
Yes. Okay, these are the welcome times in the meetings when we have people from the county hear the different organizations and success stories. So Brody, I guess we'll have Mr. Hartzell introduce everybody, and then I'd like Brody to come up and we can have a conversation, okay?
Yeah, I am.
Thank you.
I'm Dan Artist. I'm the athletic director at Tiffin Colonial High School. Mrs. Conley, Jennifer Conley, Mr. Sean Conley, parents of our two-time state champion, Brody Conley.
Awesome. Welcome. So we will start with the proclamation. Go ahead, Commissioner Schuff.
Absolutely. We have a proclamation here from the Seneca County Commissioner's Office. Brody Conley, two-time state champion and the most decorated wrestler in Tiffin Columbian history. Whereas Brody Conley wrapped up his high school wrestling career on March 13th with his second state championship in the Division II state wrestling tournament. And whereas Conley finished the 2022 season with an unblemished 53-0 record, becoming the first wrestler in Tiffin Columbian High School's history to achieve 2 state titles. He is one of 2 Columbian wrestlers to ever win the state championship, and whereas Conley is inarguably the most decorated wrestler in Tiffin Columbian history, and his hard work, dedication, and consistency in the sport should be celebrated by all. He finished his career on a 119 match winning streak and was 198-11 across all matches. Conley recorded 156 pins, and his 2 state championships are added to a 4th place state finish as a freshman wrestler. And whereas Conley was named the National High School Coaches Association National Champion as a freshman, a junior All-American, an Ironman champion, and was also named the OHSWCA Outstanding Wrestler for the Division II state tournament this year, among many other accolades. And whereas Conley has been successful on and off the mat, as an honors student who takes advanced placement classes, he was also named by his peers as the captain of the football team. And whereas Conley is committed to wrestling under the tutelage of Tim Flynn at the West Virginia University next year. The commissioners, his teammates, and his community look forward to cheering him on as he competes at the next level. Due to Conley's outstanding work ethic and attitude, we have no doubt he will continue to add to his accolades in the Division I college level and have great success not only on the mat but off the mat as well. And in witness whereof we, the Seneca County Board of Commissioners, have hereunto set our hand to this proclamation this 24th day of March in the year of our Lord, 2022. Commissioners Mike Kirschner, Anthony Paradiso, and Tyler Schuff.
That's awesome.
Give this to you.
It doesn't get old, it doesn't get old when people clap for you, does it?
I knew you were
Pretty
coming
awesome.
down today, so I wore my blue and gold, and I knew you were coming down, so congratulations.
I appreciate it.
We're very proud of you, and then working with your dad, watching you grow up in biddy wrestling to where you're at now, I talked to a lot of people at the high school, you're good on the mat and off the mat, we're so very proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Come
you.
on up, Brody, for
Yeah,
a quick.
congratulations.
Quick,
Get that photo in the middle
thanks.
here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Commissioner.
You can have the gavel if you want.
He can have, we definitely have the gavel.
What does Ben Gillick call you, the bruiser?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Tony, you want to move that chair out? I'll move that chair out for a second. Good deal. Thanks, guys. All right, just going to take a couple here. 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to do one more. 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Thank you. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Love to hear some remarks from you. Brody, come on up real quick. We just, we're not gonna let you off the hook. So, you gotta tell us a little bit about, maybe whatever you wanna tell us, but we'd like to know, recap of maybe your high school career and what you wanna do in the future.
Yeah,
In addition
you
to
know,
wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all the support in the world from our community, and I appreciate that. And I'm just super excited to go to the next level. I appreciate everyone that's been there for me, my family, my friends, the community, and plan on studying or going into exercise sciences and kinesiology when I get to the university. I'm going there early. I'm getting there around right at the end of June, so getting started early, getting training early, and I'm super excited. And I can't wait to just show everybody what I got and leave Tiffin on the map.
That's awesome. We made it.
Next chapter. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know Coach Simcoe, Coach Long over in Fremont, been a good influence to you.
Mhm,
And,
yeah.
Did you ever wrestle Ethan Green?
I actually wrestled him my sophomore year when I was a 152 pounder. He was a heavyweight. He was pretty big.
I saw you in the SBC wrestle up, but not that far up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that was just so we could try to win it as a team. So I bumped up to 215 so that we could try to win the league as a team.
This is a Fremont Ross kid that won the state and is going to Cincinnati
Yeah.
at football,
Yeah,
which is
that's
my
awesome.
alma mater, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know, and your mom and dad, and it's just great that you, it's impressive to see how you handle yourself and how grateful and humble you are, but yet you're a beast out there on the mat. I looked at some videos of your junior year and senior year and your maturity and your body, just, I don't know what kind of training program you're on, but you're in the right major.
Yeah.
I want you to come back and I want to take a look at you 4 years from now when you get out of college.
Yeah.
And,
Gotcha.
But anybody have any questions?
I just remember when you were here last year, I was like, I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing you again the following year.
Yeah.
Kudos to your parents, I know you got two great parents, so, thank both of them, and be happy every day that you have them, and, I just watching the state tournaments, we tuned in for, we watched it, it was hard to get on TV, so we did it through our phones, and we're
It's great.
using some explicitives, but we're sitting there trying to hook it up on TV, we're getting frustrated because we couldn't get it on there,
Yeah,
just watching you, I love how you're always on the attack, like you don't sit there, you're so aggressive in the way you wrestle, and it's just, keep going.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything, Mom and Dad, you would like to say?
Just very proud of our son and the village that he came from, and excited to see him at the next level.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Awesome. Anybody else? Okay, so you're free to go. No need to stay for the rest of the meeting,
All right.
but you're welcome to stay. Anything else, Commissioner? We're good? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
One more clap.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. No problem. See you guys.
I mean, Adam, you know what that's like.
Relentless.
To win that twice is crazy. Okay, moving on, County Administrator Report.
Just want to go over some calendar things with you. Tony might, this might be a repeat of what you were going to ask, but They've scheduled an entrance audit for the 30th, so next week. I think it's Wednesday at 9 o'clock. They're gonna do it virtual, so once I get the link, I'll send it to you. I noticed a potential conflict for our EMS meeting on the 7th. It looks like there's an event going on at 6. Wasn't sure what you guys planned on doing for that. Do we want to just move it, or?
Well, the 7th is the Jefferson Day dinner, which is basically the Lincoln Day dinner, only it's closer to Jefferson's birthday. So Sandusky County has one on the 12th, we're having one on the 7th. And it will take quite a few people, and I would assume some of the trustees would want to attend that as well. So I would suggest that, if possible, to change that date.
Believe, we checked your schedule, and so I would like the commissioners to maybe propose to the group of 16 that we meet on the 21st. Did that work for you, I think? April
21st would be fine,
Commissioner
yeah.
Kirchner? And
It'd be great for me because I'll be out of town that week and
so I think we need a meeting, and then we can decide at that meeting if we're gonna meet May 5th or what the next.
So we're changing that EMS meeting to 4/21?
Yes,
Okay. All right,
I think, yeah, we're changing it, so they can pass that on, okay?
all right.
Good.
Okay, and got a little bit more information. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago after getting back from a rural EMS committee meeting. They are doing an EMS on the Hill on May 12th. And, you know, their main focus, I think, has been, you know, making EMS an essential service. So it is a board day that day, but I would like to see if, you know, one or all of you could go down just to go to the State House with them, just kind of supporting them. Maybe talk to Reineke and talk to Click to see, you know, if they'd be available, just to show the support.
It's called EMS on the Hill?
EMS on the Hill,
The 12th?
the 12th, yep. I think they're gonna start their regular meeting in the morning, so I'll find out what time they would like us there, but I think it would show good
Yeah.
support.
Is there any reason we couldn't meet on the 11th or on the
You
13th?
thinking Tuesday maybe, or no? Would you rather meet Wednesday or
It's up to you.
11th, fine, or the 13th? I
we
prefer
could
not.
work
I'd rather not to do it on a
I
Friday.
don't wanna do it
Yeah,
Friday.
okay, so on the, how's the 11th look calendar-wise?
I don't see anything on our calendar for the
So why don't we
11th.
change
good,
that meeting
I'm
to the
good,
11th, yeah.
11th, you good? That's a Wednesday.
Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. And just, we're having our Corsa renewal meeting. It is a webinar this Friday at 11, in case any of you are interested in setting in the links on the calendar. So we'll find out what our renewal is supposed to be, how we did last year. Another couple items on the calendar. We have the Farm Bureau tonight, their annual meeting. I think it starts at 6. Is that tonight? Yeah. And then tomorrow is the kickoff for the Tiffin Bicentennial at the Ritz at 6 o'clock. And
Yeah. We'll be present there.
Yeah, how about those last
I'm gonna
two? We
go
just sent
down.
an email out on those.
Yep.
It changes the dates and all.
yep, I can do that.
Just mention that we have a proclamation that
I
we're read
will,
at
yeah,
that Friday.
well, we can just do it now. So Friday, tomorrow at 6, I will be representing the commissioners at the Ritz. And we have a proclamation that I'm not sure I will read as well as Commissioner Schuff does or Commissioner Kirchner, but I'll attempt to read this tomorrow night. And we're really glad to be there. So we'll be at the Ritz tomorrow night.
Okay.
The only other thing I wanted to ask, at the end of last year, we transferred, actually, we did an advance to the capital improvement fund for $800,000 because the airport project was just about done, but they weren't sure that they would be able to get the cash in by the end of the year. So we went ahead and did an advance. So obviously the money did happen to come in yet still in 2021, so the money went into the capital improvement fund. My question is, do we want to advance it back to the general fund, or since we've been talking about other projects, can I turn it into a transfer and just leave it in the capital projects for some of these that we're looking at doing coming up soon.
Well, I mean, my first reaction would be to put some of it in budget stabilization fund, because it did come out of operations, right? I mean, core.
Yeah, I
Core
don't think I can
operations.
pull it. I'd have to put it back into the general fund to move it to the budget stabilization.
On his point, will there be other funds in there that we could do what he just mentioned?
Oh, in the general fund?
future, yeah.
In the general fund, yeah.
To kind of offset it, would that be,
So your question is, can you move it back, you need to move it back to capital?
I would rather do it,
Just leave.
make it a transfer instead of an advance, so
Okay.
it leaves the cash for the projects. Even though we got the cash from the airport project, that was the intent. We weren't quite sure where our,
Yeah.
revenue was gonna land, so we did it as an advance.
leave it in there?
I would say with all the capital projects you have, you ought to leave it in the capital improvement
Okay,
fund.
so I have a
That's-
couple resolutions next week, just to
On the
fix
budget
that.
stabilization
We can do
concept,
We can, I don't know if
We
we're
talk
due
about
to
that
talk
later.
about that yet or not, but
Okay,
were we don't have that in the budget,
what's that?
budget stabilization.
We didn't have
transfer.
any, nope, we were gonna talk about that to see what kind
And I
of,
think we.
that's usually a quarterly conversation,
Yeah,
so I
we're
would say at
coming
the
up
end
to
of
that.
March, yeah.
So we can do it, we can have that and then just make the first quarter.
okay,
But I like that concept. We just kind of skim a little off the top, keep
Yep.
putting it in there. It's good.
okay, that's all I have.
Okay, Commissioner Schuff, Commissioner report.
Yeah, got off to a little bit of a slow start this week. Threw out my back Sunday afternoon, so I was out of commission there for about a day and a half, 2 days. Starting to feel my age here, but last Thursday we had a Township Trustees Association meeting, which was very productive. We got updates from State Representative Click, stuff on the opioid settlement from Mirchaw. Also got updates from the sheriff as far as numbers out in the different townships and response times and how things are improving out there, but I'll let him give that report here when he's ready, so I don't want to steal his thunder. Also happy to announce we're doing another business contest for Fostoria, Launch Fostoria. We just broke this last year, had some really great applicants come out of it. Actually, multiple of those businesses that competed in it opened over in Fostoria, so we're doing a second one this year. I got a call from John Monk, I think it was Tuesday, and he asked me for an interview. I couldn't even really get up to move much, so like I said, I was out of commission the first 2 days, but I'm glad to see that this is going to be an ongoing thing, and congrats to Sarah Krupp and Renee Smith for all the hard work they do over there. Also had a meeting or lunch with Adam Gilmore here this week. We got to discuss some things on projects we can work on together, bounce some ideas off of each other, and just talk about collaboration, so look forward to getting some things done with Adam. Also got an appointment, or I got that whole day carved out for this coming week with John. Just passed my first year here at the Commissioner's office, but I want to get a in-depth feel, or I want to get a tour of all of our county facilities, what needs work, what needs improved, where we having issues, just get a good visual so I can make more informed decisions up here as I sit up here at this table with these gentlemen. Also want to congratulate Mackenzie Posey and Clay Wolf on their appointments to the health boards, and that's all I have
Good. Busy week.
for being again 2 days.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Okay, Jimmy and I yesterday, continuing on with the theme of kids in school, went to the freshman class at Calvert, the entrepreneurial class. Basically, they were doing some projects, kind of looking at critical thinking and how they could start a business and what the process was, and we answered some questions. Jimmy gave them some fundamental information about how the commissioners operate, and told them a couple of stories about a couple of things that have happened over the years that involve some critical thinking and have to kind of switch gears in the middle of a project and that kind of thing. So it was very productive, and I hope to continue to be able to do things like that in the future. We also promoted the CEO program to them. That is a senior level
Good.
program. The CEO program actually has kids start businesses, borrow money if they need to, and see if they can make it. So I think that that's a great thing. We also try to emphasize to them that whatever they decide, there is a possibility to make a good living and be very happy staying in Tiffin and Seneca County. I know all the kids at that age want to move somewhere else, but we try to give them examples of people who are we call B&R, born and raised folks here that kind of went from day one to their retirement in jobs and careers in Tiffin and Seneca County. I think that's important for them to understand that they can stay here and they can be successful. Had a number of face-to-face and phone conversations with Senator Reineke about the capital budget and a number of other issues, and so we spent a lot of time talking to the state people about what's going on down there. I guess that's it. Are we going to talk much about capital budget under old business?
We had it on the agenda, yeah.
Okay.
We can.
So
That's
I
what I
guess
thought.
I've got a motion to make, but I'll yield to that when it comes to old business.
Okay, I'm good with that, if you are. A couple comments from me. My report, I guess, not in any order. We had a land bank meeting in here that went fairly well. We moved 3 properties, 3 dilapidated properties in the county into the land bank. So that process continues. We talked about the brownfield money, $1 million that the county has this year. I guess those applications appear to be going along really well. We have 4 for sure projects that we submitted, and there's a pipeline of several that need to meet the April 1st criteria, so they're working on paperwork. But that more to come on that. That's a good program, and it's a one-time program. And we are, for the residents of the city of Tiffin, we have included the TSEP lot by Ralph's, that parking lot by Ralph's. That is part of this, the 4 projects that have been submitted. And TSEP did a nice job of, I don't know, were you part of that, Anna, putting that packet together?
Not really.
But they submitted a pretty extensive packet of that site, so looking forward to getting that cleaned up. We had a district advisory council meeting. Commissioner Kirschner named the 2 new health board members, just so the public understands. The health board is a 9 board made up of 9 members. 2 are appointed by the city of Fostoria, 2 are appointed by the city of Tiffin, and 5 are appointed by the villages and townships within the county. This year we had 2 openings, and so we had a meeting, and the names mentioned were the ones that were appointed. Went to yesterday, could not go to Calvert. I always miss that day, Commissioner, but I went to the Columbus, to the State of the State address. We found that to be, I found that to be very rewarding. I really enjoyed the day down there. I was guest of Representative Click, and it was the first State of the State address in 3 years live because of COVID. So we had the full legislature there, all the representatives, senators, Supreme Court was there, governor's staff. Governor gave a great speech. And I think I just want to highlight a couple things that I think is important that he said that are really, really priorities coming down the road. He opened with mental health, and he talked a lot about mental health. So there'll be more coming out of the state with regards to that. Talked a lot about our state parks. There's a new one. We have 76 state parks. Through COVID, many people used the state parks, and they are re-energized, and they're fixing them up, and they've got a lot of good suggestions with trails and just quality of life here in Ohio. Also talked about mentoring children that, like our SMILE program, trying again to catch these young kids and get them a mentor. And a lot of departments are working on this. I thought it was a really good, I can't articulate the way he did, but more to come there. Highway safety, I think the distraction bill's gonna pass pretty soon, basically texting and driving, that kind of thing. Then after the meeting, we went to Senator Reinke's office, Adam's old office, and Mayor Sanchez was in there, and Sheriff from Sandusky County, and we talked about jail, House Bill 101, which was really interesting. And Senator Reinke had visited the Sandusky County Jail and was taking a lot of notes, but basically HB 101 would provide funding to correctional facilities throughout Ohio that are in dire need of money. So this is kind of getting some traction. It's a little early yet, but law enforcement, good correction facilities are also a high priority down there. So I thought that was good. I fumbled around on our call yesterday. I tried to set it Representative Click's office. I had my laptop on. Of course, I lose internet service right when the meeting starts. And so I got here late, but I got on, so thanks. And then last night, I'm kind of excited about this, little EMS update. On the way home, I stopped at AVR. They had their meeting, Municipio. Basically, Senate Eastern County EMS. We had a great meeting. I walked in, and Sonia Larson was sitting there from the Village of Republic. So I was really excited to see her.
Is it Republic or Bloomville?
Or Bloomville, thanks for
Bloomville.
correcting me, Bloomville. I was in Republic, she's from Bloomville. I think your back goes out way too.
You called me Kirshner earlier.
I know, it's bad, I'm trying. I'm trying, I get up, I walk in the morning, I do everything I'm supposed to do, and I still, but anyhow, they, for a while, the group of 16, Bloomville's not been represented. There was a change in village council, and Mayor Auble over there was talking to the group, and anyhow, Sonia stepped up, and she's the representative from Bloomville on the MS board. I think the districts, she's going to do a good job, and we need to get her up on board with all the things that are going on out there. We talked about the lot that we're looking at, and I think it was a pleasant conversation. We've had a few people speak up, questioning things. We're in the process of doing our due diligence. I think I know for a fact that that board out there of 7 understands exactly what's going on and likes the location. Basically, Stacy and I said to Ken, figure out a reason why not to do it there. I mean, if there's a better place, tell us, but, so we're kind of in that phase right now, but we're excited about it. So that's the EMS update. Well, the calendar, that concludes my report. Okay, anything else? We good? We'll move into old business. You want to talk about?
Stacy began here, I should
Sure,
sure.
old business?
Kind of her show.
What we had on the agenda is the state capital budget, which
Right.
follows the conversation from yesterday.
Okay.
There was,
So segue into what you want to talk about? Yeah.
Yeah, I think all that needed to be said was said yesterday. I'm not sure that any more conversations do anybody any good.
Okay. So.
do I leave it submitted? I don't really have direction what to do with.
I would suggest that maybe we contact the state, and Senator Reinke needs an answer. I talked to him, and he's, at 2:30 I spoke with him, and he said, whatever, just tell me what you guys want to do. So I agree with Commissioner Kirshner. I think we should call them, maybe withdraw that application, and kind of see what happens with the rest of the projects. I don't know if that's appropriate. I think it's probably what's needed to be done.
I wasn't
You
sure if you
guys think-
withdraw or table, I'm not sure.
I don't know how you do
terminology.
it. I mean, we're talking for this go-around budget, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll do it this way.
Yeah,
Then it becomes public record. I would move that we continue to submit the East Tower project as our number one priority with the state of Ohio. I assume it will fail for lack of a second.
okay.
So it does. So you take it from there.
Okay, so I think we're in this discussion, and I think that it's appropriate we contact, we were asked to rate these projects, and we had our discussion, and so it's not gonna be a project for this budget anyhow, so I think we should withdraw it. We'll take a vote if we need to, or is it just an administrative thing? Stacy?
Uh,
Well, you don't have a motion. How are you gonna take a vote?
Okay. Thanks for reminding me. I'll entertain a motion that we contact the state and withdraw our application for East Tower.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Schiff,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner,
No.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Okay. Did you have other things you want to talk about? Capital budget? Or anything else?
Pardon?
Anything else you want to talk about? Capital budget or
Yeah,
Old
I didn't
business.
have our regular capital on the agenda, but it's not that we can't talk about it. I was hoping at least, if not today, next week, we could get back into some of our local
Let's
projects.
do it next week.
Well, the only thing I have is scout budget. We've had it on our desk since November. It's a request from the Honorable Steve Schuff, and by virtue of conversations with other people occupying the courthouse, they are requesting and have requested that another sign be put out in the Justice Center facing South Washington Street. There were a couple of bids. The best bid was from Klaus Construction, and that came in at $24,880. All the specs are included in it. And again, that's a request from the capital budget to put that sign up. So I would so move.
Put the picture of it up that he sent me.
Yeah, we have a motion.
Have we had people having issues or complain about not being able to find the courthouse? Just out of curiosity, I mean, we put one sign up today, are people having a hard time finding it?
I'm not aware of it. I think I think the other part of it is that building, those electeds that are in the Justice Center now paid for the first sign.
We got a motion on the floor. Before we discuss it, we need to either have a second
Okay,
or...
I'll make a second. Thank you. Hey, there's advantage.
Okay, now we can discuss it.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, so I'll make a second, I did that, and so I think what's bringing me back, I'm kind of like you, Commissioner, do we need that sign? You know, we've got all these capital requests. Talked to several people over there, and, you know, the compelling argument is we're having the 200th anniversary of the city of Tiffin. There'll be a lot of people down there. That building's making this request. The reason we're bringing it up now, I think, Commissioner, one, this was submitted in November, no different than many of your projects, Stacy, that were submitted way before November, okay? I think we need to make that clear. But there is a little more sense of urgency because of what's gonna be going on downtown this summer. So, I'm assuming that's why you're bringing it up. That was my conversation with the judges, so. Any more discussion?
Would you consider this a need or a want?
Depends who you ask. So, I don't know, yeah, that's a tough one, you know, but I don't know, Commissioner, any comment on your end? Need or want, or should we just vote on it?
I think you got a motion and a second, discussion's over with, yeah, we vote.
Well, we're still discussing, but we could end the discussion and vote if you want to. Okay, let's do it, let's take a vote.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
No.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, thanks. Any more comment on anything with old business? I'm sorry, I'm in old business. Okay, new business.
Okay. So let me stop sharing. Alright, I have request from Job and Family Services, needed an additional $10,000 into their supply line in their public assistance fund. I have a request from the treasurer's office, doing additional $384.30 into their salary employees line. This is the additional 1% that we approved at the beginning of the year. Some of the non-generals didn't have that in their budget, so this was just them getting their 1% put in. And it's in their DRETAC fund. He's gonna pay for that one out of his DRETAC fund. And then, last supplemental I have is the ambulance replacement. This is what we ordered last year. Probably, we're being told probably won't come in until the end of this year. This is the number 2, so we just needed to get the money put in place, back onto a purchase order since it didn't come in last year. So that's ambulance replacement line, $226,665.
I actually thought it was 246, but was the first vehicle less than this?
Mhm.
And due to supply chain and everything?
It had to go up a little bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep going, thanks.
Okay, so then I'm gonna on paper. So I have a resolution authorizing a fund advance repayment from Wolf Creek Ditch Fund to the general fund. So first settlement has been done and completed. So the amount collected so far for first half is $19,447.78, which will be advancing back to the general fund. We did that, this is probably not year 5, so it's rounding down the amount owed on the Wolf Creek advance. I have a resolution establishing the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund. Fund will be created 1024. You know, we've gotten different letters from CCAO and the state auditor's office that any of the money that does come into the county needs to be put into a separate fund. And obviously, we've seen all those guidelines that need to be followed for this. So they said we needed to set up a separate fund. I have a resolution authorizing the 4D service contracts between Seneca County Common Pleas Court 1, Common Pleas Court 2, Juvenile Court, Juvenile Magistrate, Clerk of Courts, and Seneca County on behalf of the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services. I have a resolution approving the recommendation of the Tax Incentive Review Council's findings regarding the enterprise zone and community reinvestment area tax abatements for the companies located in Seneca County. The only one listed is Church and Dwight, that they're continuing the abatement. I have a resolution authorizing the ODOT road salt contract 2022 on behalf of the Seneca County Engineer. Talking about salt for winter already next year, jeez. Resolution entering into an agreement with Bloom Scipio Joint Ambulance District effective November 30th, 2021. They had signed their agreement last year during our meetings, and we didn't get ours signed back to them, so that's what we're catching up and getting that signed. I know since then they've changed their name, but when they signed it, they were still the Bloom Scipio Joint Ambulance District. They're doing business now as Eastern Seneca Joint Ambulance District.
Just
what
for
they're
the
called.
record, their legal name is still Bloom Scipio.
Okay.
That's the tax, and then it's one of those DBA kind of things.
DBAs, yep.
And they're branding themselves as EMS, would you say that was?
Eastern
Eastern
Seneca
Seneca EMS.
Joint Ambulance
That's all
District.
called
Yep.
out there. Thank you.
Yep. I have a resolution authorize waiving the 3% increase for 2021 for Seneca County Sewer District, retroactive to January 1st, 2021. The engineer is our sanitary engineer for 2020, had brought it to us to waive the increases due to COVID, and he had actually said the same thing for 2021. We just didn't memorialize it in a resolution. So there was no additional increases last year for the sewer district, so we needed to have it by resolution. They are doing the increases for 2022.
So I comment on that, Mr. Bradwell. So the sewer district has, by statute, an automatic 3% per year increase. If we don't want the 3% increase, we have to say there's no increase. If we don't do anything, it automatically goes up 3. So we're kind of going back, cleaning up the COVID years, and then this year it went up. Okay, thanks.
I have a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to sign a satisfaction of mortgage for Laura Barnett for the satisfaction of her loan with the Seneca County Commissioners for work done through the Community Housing Improvement Program for 2010, payoff of $10,770. And that's all I have.
The only question I have is the DRETAC. I didn't know that we really controlled that. I thought that that was his decision, the treasurer's decision.
It is not,
Okay, it's our decision.
yes.
Okay.
But we had authorized that each department could do the 1% one-time bonus. But to have the increase, it still has to come, you have the budgeting authority
Okay.
on that, so you have to decide.
Very good, thanks. I will move for approval of the new business, the supplemental appropriations, the legislation, and the authorizations.
Second that motion?
Roll call?
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Schutt?
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley?
Yes. We're just signing away up here. Okay, Jimmy, we will address the live audience, I guess, right?
Yeah, go ahead and start in here, but then, you know, if you are online and you want to come
You
forward.
want to do it that way?
Let me know in the chat, and, you also could unmute now, I've allowed that.
Go ahead.
So,
See if
okay,
anybody
well,
online
we can
wants.
start online then.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone is in here on the Zoom call and wants to speak during public comment, you can come forward now. I didn't see anything in the chat, so we will see.
Okay. So we'll open it up to the floor of those in attendance. Anyone want to speak? Adam Gilmore, TSA, welcome.
Yeah, I've just been asked to pass on a couple quick messages, primarily from our downtown director, Amy Reinhardt. April 21st is going to be the first third Thursday. It's a weird ordering of words, I know. This year, that's going to be the Blooming Art Stroll on the 21st. And then on April 30th is the Chocolate Walk, which goes to support downtown businesses. There's only 500 tickets available for that this year. So if you are interested in doing that, better to sign up sooner rather than later.
What, do you have any time specific on the 21st? We just changed the meeting to that date. You know,
I
what's that?
do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
But third Thursdays are typically in the evening.
It's evening, yeah, after work type of.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Good, thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Denham? Hey, welcome.
I can't stick around very long, but I just want to touch base with you
Okay,
on that property over there.
yeah.
I've been catching so much flack from everybody wondering what the hell's going on over there, and I tell them it's none of their business. But from what I understand on Facebook, which I don't do anything with that, it was on Facebook about you making a purchase or a agreement to purchase and stuff. Maybe it could be publicized a little bit more so I don't get beat over the head
Okay.
with questions all the time.
Okay.
I don't know how much you want to put out on in the paper.
So, I'm glad, so this is Mr. Dedeman, the owner of the lot that the county took an option on. to build our EMS facility. And some of the neighbors in that area are contacting you. So I think.
More or less.
Yeah, and I'm like you, I'm not the Facebook guy either, but, so, you know, part of the process of having an option, you know, this 120-day period, is to let the county and the EMS district decide if that's the right location, and we're working on that. We're contacting ODOT, we're in the process of contacting ODOT and those kind of things. I think the other part of it is some public comment. So there will be a time and a
For
place.
public comment.
Yeah, where, and that'll occur out at one of their meetings, not here. I would think, if it's okay with you guys, it would just occur out at the, at one of their,
One of the township halls or something.
one of their EMS meetings that are held in Republic monthly. In the meantime, I have received several emails from the gentleman across the street, and I've talked to Chris Miller directly. Last night I spoke with township trustees, so unfortunately you're getting that, but we'll be transparent about it, unless anybody wants to add anything else. And
Well,
we're moving forward.
I haven't been non-transparent.
Right,
but,
no, you absolutely have.
It just kind of ticks me off. Everybody's got their nose in somebody
You can
else's
sit in these
business.
chairs anytime you want to and understand what we go through.
I know. I
Yeah,
worked for the
but,
county for 30 years.
I know you, 30-year county employee.
Derek has full knowledge of all this and is.
He
guided us.
created the
Document.
document, and we passed it in session, in an open session.
And I wrote about it, March 10th is when we talked about it in here.
And we
And it was
passed-
in our press release that went out. Kayla, I think you wrote about it probably
Yeah, I
after
think
that
so,
too.
yeah.
Well, I got,
It's been up there, it's hard to get it to everybody.
Specifically.
I got approached this morning. I go out for coffee in the mornings, and some guy comes storming in there, stomping in. What are you gonna give this property or sell this property? None of their business.
Yeah, it's true.
But if you want to publicize it, I have no problem at all.
Okay.
He said he read it on Facebook, what the agreement was and the money and the whole ball of wax. And I told him, I said,
All public knowledge.
I haven't got a dime from anybody yet, so.
Commissioner Kirschner has a question.
Well, what specifically did we pass in March? Jimmy, can you go back? and-
Do you just want me to read what I wrote about it?
Sure.
So, the commissioners agreed upon an option to purchase about 3 acres of land on US 224 in Bloom Township. The option allows the commissioners 120 days to decide if it wants to move forward and acquire the property, which would likely be used for a Senate County EMS station. And then I put some information about this all comes straight from the document that our prosecutor put together. Price of the portion of the parcel would be about $52,500. And earlier in the year, the commissioners set aside $750,000 to move forward with the new EMS building.
So, I mean, the idea was that we passed an option to buy.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're doing it, it just means
and we,
in 120 days, we'll make a
Which gave us time
decision.
to do due diligence, right?
Yeah.
Now the public are
I
reacting.
guess a couple of neighbors aren't real happy with an EMS station going there.
So I think part of the problem, we discussed this last night at their public meeting with the Bloom Township trustee, Adam Letts there. So if you live where you live, or where Chris Miller lives, you're in Bloom Township, and your service is coming out of the Bloomville Fire Department. So their natural reaction is, why can't it be down at the corner of 19 and 224, which would be probably the place to put it if it was just Bloom Scipio. And so what I've explained to people is this is getting a little more complex, because we now have Reed and Venice and Attica way over there, and that extra mile and a quarter that we creep it down 224 means a lot to the bigger district. And that's basically no one's fault, it's just confusing, and that's what we talk about all the time, is trying to educate the public. I mean, I'm not even sure the Bloom Scipio people know AVR merged with them, you know, from an EMS perspective. So it's now, they're taking a bigger look at it versus a local Bloom kind of a look. So we have to do a better job of educating them, and we're working on that message.
You're 100% right there, because the conversation I had this morning, a lot of people have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I tried to explain to the people that was around me this morning that say, one guy lives in town, right in Bloomville, says, well, we're gonna lose our ambulance service, it's gonna, I says, no, you're not, you're gonna get quicker service now, because with the ambulance in Bloomville, it's volunteer, the whistle goes off, the guy, people wake up,
We're gonna hire him to do our campaign.
go to the firehouse and get the ambulance and come out. You might be 20 minutes or so before they even get there. I says, this station is going to be manned 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with people right there. All they got to do is get in the ambulance and go. I says, you're going to get quicker service than what you're getting right now with the ambulance. Same way with Bloomville Republic. Of course, Attica don't get any service at all.
Where your location is, we're exactly 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes from your location to Bloomville, Republic, or Attica.
Right.
Get in a car and drive it. So you can't be a better spot for under that. So we have a lot of work to do to get the message out. And you know, when you talk countywide EMS, there were 55,000 people living in the county. We all took a poll in here after one of the meetings. You weren't here, Commissioner. And I think we stretched it. You were here, Caleb, weren't we? And we were stretching it to come up with possibly 250 people that live in Seneca County could explain what's going on with countywide EMS out of 55,000. So we have a lot of work to do. And then, you know, go ahead, Commissioner.
Just nuts and bolts stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, are we required statutorily to have a public meeting about this?
No.
Okay. But if we do have a public meeting, the buyer of the property is the county, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So even though we may have a meeting in that area, the commissioners would have to hold that meeting.
Okay.
It's not a public meeting held by the trustees or by the ambulance district.
Right.
Just to be very clear, because we said we have the meeting over there, it's not a trustee issue or is it an ambulance district issue, it's a county issue.
Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I just wanted to add for Mr. Detterman, you know, if you're running into people talking to you and they're not sure what's going on, send them to our office, tell them to call us, we could set up a meeting. I mean, the thing with this issue, it's hard to get people to think about it until they need it, right? You take for granted EMS service until you need to dial 911,
Well,
so.
a lot of people like to work with rumors other than facts.
Right, well, come to the source because we're willing to talk to you. Each of the commissioners will sit down with you, I'll talk to you.
I went to school, I graduated with the one guy that's bitching about it. He won't call me, he sends his nose person around his nose.
Well,
we're here.
I'm glad you brought it up because it just verifies the communication that's going on out there and the work we have ahead of us, right, Stacy or not? And we all agree that this is, we just, Jimmy, like we do, we keep the same message, we just keep saying it.
There's a treasure trove of information out there, but it's just getting people, you know, you can lead them to water, but
Well,
you
this
can't
will
make
be
them
this could be a positive for that
Yeah.
part of the county. It just rolls out to get people to understand.
Everybody in my district, I've been paying for ambulance service now for what, 4 or 5 years, ever since they put the levy on in Bloom Township, when Bloomville and Republic merged and made the Bloom Scipio ambulance service. I've been paying on my taxes for ambulance service. And everybody says, oh, my taxes are going up. They've been paying taxes on it for 5 years. Well, I don't think your taxes, I says the whole county will have to pay now instead of just people in one area. I'm assuming anyhow.
It's kind of getting there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of facets to all this.
So I just thought, that's why I stopped. I was in town.
Well, I'm glad you stopped.
Yeah.
So now the world knows who you are, so.
I've got targets.
I'm not too worried about that.
Is Ken on there?
He is.
Get a paper and get a picture so everybody knows.
Hey, maybe Ken has a comment.
Actually, I have a question for Ken.
Ken is on there, so if he wants to come forward, he can. I don't know, Ken, are
You're
you?
good.
You're
Okay, well, good enough.
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks.
Good, Bill.
Hey, Ken, if the noise is an issue, or the sirens or the lights are, I mean, are they allowed to pull out there and then maybe turn them on or fire them up when they get 100 or 200 yards down the road so it's not disturbing the neighbors, or is that against the law?
I would think if you're coming out on a state highway, you better be blaring and lighting when you come out of that that
I
parking
just
lot.
caught the last, that about you're talking about the sirens and
Yeah.
stuff like that when
I'm
they
just saying,
leave.
you wait 100, or you get 100 yards down the street. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I've been hit about. I don't want no siren going off right across from my house.
Well, Ken has an answer, you can answer it now, Ken, or, but part of what we're doing is we're contacting the state of Ohio to see what type of signage or blinking lights or that kind of thing we can get east and west of, and how far down they would be.
To warn traffic other
Well,
than
it's just, so I
siren.
think, I would like to defer that answer till we get more information, if that would make sense, because we're working on that. I don't wanna
Yeah,
say
many places
something-
have a yellow
I don't
caution
wanna
light
say
in front of those
something that-
places.
Well, I think a lot of people, the neighbors around there, maybe think that there's gonna be a siren up like there is in Bloomville and Republic when they
Like
call.
where you live.
They won't have no siren out there. They'll just get notified by
Lights, and
telephone.
we're gonna defer that answer, that's a good question. Commissioners just asked it, others have asked it, and I would like to, we want to answer that question.
See if Derek has an opinion.
Well, and it has to do with, yes, that, and several other.
As far as the ambulance going
Yeah.
down the road, they're gonna blow their sirens anyhow
If we
regardless of
don't-
where they
Yeah,
come from.
I'm gonna let Ken answer that, but I know that when I called the ambulance one time, I asked them for just transport, not to blare the sirens and that, but the answer is no. When we're coming, we're coming.
I was on the volunteer fire department for a while in Bloomville, and when they get in the truck, all they see is red. Blow the sirens and let her go.
Well, it depends on if they're going normal traffic or if they're
All right,
going
thanks,
emergency
Mr. Chairman.
traffic. You'll hear that on the scanner. And
Ken, you can comment if you want to, I think that's okay with you, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say.
There is a specific ORC regarding that. This county actually specifically in 2005 or 6 got an attorney general's opinion regarding that very question. I have that opinion, I can bring it to you. But if you do need to run emergency traffic, meaning that you need to activate the emergency warning devices on an ambulance, you have to activate both lights and siren at all times when either of those are being used. Now, I know and you know that's ridiculous. When you're sitting on scene, we don't have the siren blowing. But we arrive on scene and we leave the lights on, but we don't have the siren on. But in the matter of response, you do. But I think that's a really good question for the sheriff and the prosecutor to make read the law, because I think it can be taken a couple of different ways. But like Jimmy said, and Commissioner Kirschner said, if we are responding to an emergency that's not an emergency, we just need to lift someone or we need to drive them to something non-urgent, we don't have to use lights or sirens. So that is a choice. And in the future, we're going to be using lights and sirens less, because a lot of times lights and sirens is exactly the worst thing to do for the patient as well as the environment around you. So there are some specific laws about it. I know that's kind of a long answer, but it's a yes and no question depending on the situation.
Okay, good, and you will continue, we're all working on this, Ken, so hopefully within 30 days we can have a little better clarity. And, the answer might be, depends on what type of call it is.
Sure, I can send you that opinion today.
Yeah, we did, you and I, we talked about it, and that would be great if you send it. Anything else on that topic? Anything else on that topic? Okay, any other public comment? Adam and Bill are here.
Well, this is unrelated to that.
Okay.
So maybe you mentioned it or not, but a little plug for Senate County Opportunity Center. Next Thursday is their celebrity basketball. So if you want to come see me break my ankle or twist my back, feel free to. But it's going to be a fun day. The gym at Heidelberg's packed. Doors open up at 6 and the game starts at 7.
No fair, you have home court advantage.
I do have a little home court advantage on it.
I don't want to guard
Are you
this.
gonna
I
dunk
think
it?
you played a
Are you
few
gonna-
games in there.
You're gonna dunk it for us.
If
On
they
breakaway.
lower it down to 8 foot, yeah.
I don't believe
Mr.
that for a
Shuff's
second.
playing, Jimmy's playing, it's crazy, yeah.
I hope you guys are on my team.
Yes, I'll start emailing you.
Yeah, just give up the ball once in a while, will you?
Trust me, I will.
I do
Bill,
have,
anything?
Adams Township, Stacy, would you be able to, when you send a notice out about changing the meeting for EMS, also put in there about the EMS on a hill? That'd be
Okay.
a notification for everybody that might not pick up on that. So
Okay.
if you could add that in the email, that'd be
Sure will.
great to get that word out there. And I'm willing to lead a caravan down there if we can put a group of people together. I definitely, glad to head down there for that. It's important to, get the EMS as much funding as we can from the state if that's possible. So,
Create awareness,
Yep,
make some noise.
right.
Okay, I guess that's, Kayla, anything from you?
No.
Okay, so hearing nothing else, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.